Are you a solution-oriented person, MJ?
No.
No. I think I might be to a fault.
No, you definitely are.
Yeah, I think everything's probably fixable.
You're
if you really put your mind to
solution-oriented.
it.
I'm a problem solver, but I'm like realistic about it. And I'm like, there's not really anything we can do about it. Then I'll just stop. Sometimes I stop when there is something I can do about it.
But like sometimes the thing you can do about it is hard.
Right. And there's like a level of give and take there.
No, it's beautiful. Also, guys, it's hat day. I don't know.
Because last week we both wore lipstick. This week we're both wearing hats. Next week we're gonna both wear mustaches. Like we're just trying to see what really like bumps us in the algorithm.
Is next week gonna? I think next week is gonna have to be our Halloween episode.
Yeah, because should this week have been our Halloween episode? No, next week will have to be our Halloween episode. Yeah. It'll just be early.
Do you guys have any ideas for us for Halloween? I can't wait to read those later. Anywho, welcome to another episode of the Laps Down podcast, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Will Buxton.
I'm James Hinchcliffe.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Andrea and MJ. Yeah, me being MJ. Andrea. That one.
And me being and MJ.
Okay. Well, don't confuse them if we have new listeners. You know what I mean? I'm very excited. We have a good episode, I think, for today. I think our notes, I was reading through it and I was like, oh, this is juicy, juicy, juicy stuff. I will say just a few admin things to, remind you if you did not watch last week's episode. We talked about how we did an episode with our good friends over at Lap It Like It's Hot. I think it was a really fun episode. Definitely gives you guys a little bit more origin story to Laps Down if you guys are new here, and also other great IndyCar podcasts. Also, you might have noticed we uploaded an episode yesterday of Lapped Traffic, which is our bonus series where we do interviews with other people in the world of motorsports. And this one is a really big one, guys, because it's with Taylor Kitchen, who runs Above the Yellow Line, ATYL Media. We make videos for ATYL Media. Guys, it's all interconnected, and motorsports is just one big happy family, and Taylor Kitchen is the queen bee of this family. And so I was very happy we got to do an episode with her, and I was actually really proud of it. Can I say? I was listening to it, and I was like, I'm learning things about the world of motorsports from just editing this video. So I don't know what that says to you guys, but maybe you'll like it. Did you like it, MJ?
I haven't watched it yet, but I know I'm going to.
What do you mean you didn't watch it?
I haven't watched it yet. I've clicked through it though. No, I haven't watched it in full yet. We make really long episodes.
No, we do. And that's, I think, good.
I've heard people like it. People actively engage with it more when it's longer.
There's a new note in the doc. I didn't see this one earlier. It says, do not let us forget to talk about supercars being this weekend for Pete's sake.
Pete's sake. Yeah. Hey guys, guess what? Supercars this weekend. 2 races. Do you want to know the times?
Yeah. No, it's kind of insane. Can we talk about the 2 race thing? I think it's crazy.
No, yeah. Speak on it.
Okay, I think it's crazy how if it's not an enduro race, they just do many races in one weekend. I don't really understand how the cars can handle that. Like, don't the cars get tired? Also, don't the drivers get tired? Also, does that not mean that there's like a bajillion races per supercars season? Okay, no further things to mention on that.
No, and those are all good questions. So the races, this is in Central Time. So do your own conversions, do your own math, do your own research. The first race, qualifying for the first race, race number 28. So there are a bunch of races in a season, is at 8 p.m. on Friday. And then the top 10 shootout is at 9:30 p.m.
Friday.
On Friday. Yeah, obviously, Andrea. And then race number 28 is at 12:15 a.m.
on Saturday.
Yes. No, you're very good. And then on Saturday, qualifying takes place at 7 p.m.
We
And
do
then
2
top
separate
10.
qualifieds?
There's 2 races, Andrea.
That's not how anybody else does it. Whenever everybody
That
else does a
is.
doubleheader, they do 1 qualifying.
No, we just did a sprint and a main race, and we did 2 qualifyings. Do not talk about my friends in Australia like this.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So at 7 p.m. we have qualifying. At 8:35 p.m., and remember, this is Central Time, we have the top 10 shootout. And then at 11:10 p.m., it's more of a matinee race. We have race number 29.
No, of course.
What if it's not this weekend?
It is Surfers Paradise this weekend.
It's Surfers Paradise this weekend.
They mentioned that in the Will Power book I'm reading.
They do, and then our good friend Scott Dixon that you spoke with said that he would love to return to Surfers Paradise.
Yeah, he just basically named most of the supercars calendar. I should have, if I was funnier than I am, I would have been like, you would love supercars.
There's still time.
Meet a Scott Dixon's face. You would love supercars. It's a really fun series. You should check it out. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm not that funny though. So instead, you're stuck with just me in the funniness level that I'm at hosting this podcast alongside my good friend James Hinchcliffe. Anywho, do we want to talk about F1?
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, by looking at the doc, I think you were a little interested in F1 this weekend. Can I accuse you of such a thing? I think you had a little bit of fun.
I was a little interested. It did pique my interest because actually, I don't know if you know this, but Christopher Bell has actually won at that track before. So I was like, I got to see who has Christopher Bell level mentality.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think we figured it out in the end. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but we can jump right in with the fact that we finally got confirmation that George and Kimi Antonelli will both be returning to Mercedes in 2026. I have to say, guys, unfortunately, much of this episode will be me just talking about how hilarious George Russell is. And he was being interviewed about this contract. And he was like, contracts are a very personal thing. It'll definitely be for 2026. And it might be one of those multi-year deals. You know what I mean? But like, I don't want to say any further. And he was literally acting so coy about it. And I was like, we will never again get just a normal fucking contract in F1. Like, we will never again know when somebody, what is the point of those little silly season graphics that people make for F1 when it becomes the fact that everybody is fake and nobody has a real contract? What's going on here? That's not how contracts work.
I think motorsports, and we're kind of learning this with the Alex Blow, Zach Brown thing. I think they could benefit from contract lawyers. Like, just get a couple around the paddock. You can have them sign NDAs or however the law works. But I really do think that there should be a professional involved in this situation.
Yeah.
No, but instead they just do it over like WhatsApp.
No, literally. They just have a little Word doc with their own last name as the password. And they just go, okay, this is my contract.
And they go, it's and like sign an here. Doc. And he's like, how do I sign it? And they're like, oh, just type your name in. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like kind of like a proxy signature sort of thing. Like, we just assume it was you that definitely typed your name in. So that's probably good, right? It's like an editable document. They forgot to like lock it for changes. So people are going in and changing their contract after it's already been signed.
No, yeah.
Excuse me. It says right here, I get a $5 million bonus for just being good looking and funny. I'm George Russell in that situation, by the way. That's me playing the part of George Russell. Speaking of George, this was funny, and I'm so glad you added this. Go hit me with what's next on our doc here, because I cannot believe I forgot to add this.
Who it was? Was it Crofty?
Yeah.
It was one of those. It was a Sky Sports fellow, and he was like dropping some tea. I think it was to promote a book. Maybe I'm making that up. And he's like, actually, guys, you want to hear something interesting? That whole thing that went down with Max and George last year, when we got the soundbite from George where he was like, he's just dangerous, he's reckless, whatever, what have you. That was actually orchestrated by George. He asked me to ask him the question that led into that little rant. And he was saying it as if we're supposed to be like, George, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that? And I was just like, that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. So that's first of all, genius. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
very good idea. And
Mm-hmm.
third of all, very good. I don't know. I just thought every weekend, I just find another reason to love George.
He's so funny. Whenever anything doesn't go his way, he lashes out. That's so good. Like, that's so theatrical. It's so dramatic. Like, there's no way we should have expected that not to be scripted, to be honest, because it's poetry, really. It's
No, and I think
Shakespearean in a way.
we all knew it was scripted. The confirmation just makes it so much like sweeter. George, don't let them take your sparkle away.
No, that's so true. Don't let them. Okay, we'll stop talking about George for 2.5 seconds, but we will come back to it. Don't you fret. This is also you. You just wanted to positive affirmations, Lando.
Yeah, I'm starting to get really sad about the fact that both Lando and Oscar have to work for Zach Brown. So I just want to say, Lando, I saw your little event that you had with Kurt Busch, and I thought you did a very good job. It looked really fun.
Kurt Busch
Thank
was
you
there?
for Kurt Busch and Haley Deegan's brother.
Yeah, I thought the little motorcycle guy was there.
Yeah, the little guy,
fuck ass dirt bike guy.
The little guy who he was there, and then Kurt
no,
Busch
we could
was
unpack
also
that
there.
on a different episode. We can unpack that on a different episode. The fuck ass little bike guy was there. I didn't know Kurt Busch was there.
He was there because I saw him in like Jess's comments being like, it was so nice to meet you. And I was like, why the fuck is Kurt Busch in Jess's comments?
I gotta
get away from her.
I'm dead.
But it was also kind of funny because they're like in Texas for an F1 event. And it was like really not F1 themed at all. It was like Monster Energy, sure. But then like they did burnouts on bikes, which was sick. But I was also like, I don't know, have like a car or something, and maybe I just didn't see it. But I'm like, you're not really promoting. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was fun.
Can I say something? I think it's because Lando wants to be American so freaking bad.
I think he'd be good at it. Especially
she saw my message. Can't wait to see what she says.
Yeah, dude, imagine being like, I really want to be American. My idols are Haley Deegan's brother and Kurt Busch. Like, okay, well.
No, he was like on the main stage talking about like, oh no. It was like they did this Q&A and it was like, what are the 4 American cities? And it was with Oscar and Lando. And
there's
Oscar
so many more than 4 American cities.
No, yeah. Oscar took that as like, okay, she said she met him on Tuesday night. We'll have to unpack that later. Okay. I'm gonna say, I mean, I knew that. Whatever.
I saw the photos.
I didn't. News to me. They asked them like, what are the 4 American cities? And Oscar took that as like the 4 major American cities, and he named them. And then Lando was like, I only know like the cities I've been to. So like he thinks that like Austin, Texas is like one of the 4 major American cities. And then he was like, Las Vegas surely is one of the 4 most important cities in the United States. And I was like, not quite. But I realized, I was like, you want to be American so freaking bad. You haven't even gone anywhere. He was like, I've never been to LA. What? Why has he never been to LA?
I feel like he should have with Quadrant.
Should have. Right. I was like, dude, Lando,
like, bro, you've never even been to Portland and you want to be American? You never even been to Branson, Missouri, the Las Vegas of the Midwest, and you're going to look me in the eyeballs and say, I'm the next Kurt Busch. It's ridiculous.
Dude, until you've been to the Wisconsin Dells, just don't fucking talk to me about being American.
Culture.
Don't talk to me about being American. You don't know anything. And that's why you think that Haley Deegan's brother and Kurt Busch are like the fucking
crazy
cornerstones of American culture. You know what? You're disconnected and you're non-relatable anymore.
But I really liked your event.
Nice. Yeah, this is supposed to be nice. Sorry.
It's like a little sandwich. We're going to end it with another. I liked the people you invited, and I think Neon Yellow isn't horrible all the time. Good for safety.
I think that like the Neon Yellow is fine. It is interesting considering your team colors are orange, though. I think Neon Yellow and orange is a lot.
Yeah.
It can be done well, but it's tough.
The Neon Yellow, like, really doesn't look good on most people.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But, like, can I say something mean?
No, go ahead. Speak on it.
if I was going to choose a color to be like my color, I would make sure to at least look good on me.
No,
You know?
I would look super sexy in the color. Like it would be like I
Yeah.
would literally go get my colors done by like, you know, a professional, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
these are the colors we have to choose from.
This
You and
is
I are
it.
just like jewel tones.
We're
Everything's
actually
jewel tones.
winters.
Yeah, unfortunately, our colors are gonna have to be hunter green. You guys get it. Sorry, looks good with my eyes. No, I agree. I think like when I see the bright yellow, I think it looks so cute on some people. Unfortunately, on other people, it does kind of look like that like kid in 8th grade who like got a
It
full neon yellow thing from Nike. You know what I
the
mean?
like long Nike socks with the Nike
Uh,
slides with the Nike shorts that
which
go
Lando
past the
was probably
knee.
that guy, right? Like, so
No,
that might make sense.
I feel like he's too young to be that guy. He wasn't alive
No,
during our generation.
he's literally the same age as us.
No, he's not, is he?
Not this again. He's literally the same age as I think at least the same age as me.
No,
We were both
oh my
born
God,
in 1999.
his birthday's coming up.
Oh, not this again. He was literally born in 1999.
Yeah, but it was like a different part of 1999. I wasn't born in 1999. Stop hanging out without me.
Okay, well, you were hanging out without me for a full like year before I even came to be.
I was just making sure it was all good.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
Moving
Anyways,
on. Not
we're not
Googling
saying-
anybody's age.
I don't think that this podcasting platform has editing via transcript. So if we could keep the fucking shenanigans down so I don't have to just leave it in there.
Keep the
No.
shenanigans down. Do you want a podcast episode or not?
I know, but what if people came to us from the Taylor Kitchen episode and then they heard this and then they're disappointed
the
in
issue
me?
is they're either going to hear it in this episode or they're going to hear it in the next one.
Okay, whatever. Fine. We'll keep it on track, but like, we'll goof a little. Speaking of goofing a little.
That's crazy.
God, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What is the McLaren repercussion? So basically in the media before the race, like on like the Thursday of COTA, they were asking like, what is like the outcome from Singapore after Lando kind of bumped into Oscar on the first lap, and then Oscar was like, give me my spot back, and they were like, no, Oscar. And so there was like a whole back and forth, and Lando kind of said like, no, you're right, I was totally in the wrong for bumping into Oscar on that first lap, and there will be like repercussions. And I was like, what? And I was like, maybe it's just Lando like being dramatic. And then I heard Oscar say something of like, we had a team meeting and like there will be like, you know, repercussions from that. And like going forward, we can't race like that, blah, 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 blah. When I tell you they played these media clips in the like pre-weekend warm-up on F1 TV, and you have Julian Palmer and James Hinchcliffe, in the weekend warm-up, and both of them who are like former drivers were like, this is the dumbest, dog shit, stupidest thing I've ever had to listen to for weeks on end. They both like, their job is F1 media. And they were like, I have an idea. How about you idiots just go out there and drive, huh? Like, it's getting to the point where everybody's tired of like the McLaren shenanigans, because they're like, you can't like get this involved in every aspect of the driving. What do you think the repercussions are? And what are your thoughts on the repercussions? You can guess, you can lie. I don't care. What do you think
It's
they are?
going to be something stupid. Like 100% it's going to be something stupid. Something like so inadequate and unconsequential. I mean, it had to have been. And then Zach Brown kept going, he goes, you wouldn't even notice it was happening. You never notice.
You never notice.
You never notice. And I'm like, okay, stop talking about it, Zach. And also stop giving him the microphone. I can't even imagine what it would be, because it clearly had nothing to do with like their performance on track this weekend. Unless they're like, guess what, Lando, no more rear wings. No more. You don't get them anymore. It's like,
you have to do a quali lap with 3 tires.
3 tires. I bet it was like a monetary thing. If I have to, like, you have to pay for the damage on Oscar's car. I know that's what Nico and Lewis used to have to do. And I think honestly a lot of teams could benefit from that.
Yeah. I think that's fair, because it's like when the driving starts to get kind of testy because you both are competing for a championship. I think you should let them do whatever, like go for it, balls to the walls. But I do think it is kind of unfair sometimes to like the mechanics or like the team who has to constantly like rebuild these cars after you fuck around and find out. So I think like monetary or some sort of like way to give back to the mechanics to rebuild your car after these sort of mistakes would make sense from here on out in the McLaren season. I've heard it was like something like one of them gets preferential treatment for like going out during qualifying. Or I've heard like some people say like one of them has like Lando has to give Oscar a tow during qualifying. And I was just like, okay.
That's a lot.
Like that really dumb.
Like a lot. That seems like we're doing that thing again that got us into this in the first place, where we are too hands-on within the battle. I don't know. I guess I just wish that the title could be enough of a repercussion, losing the title.
Right.
Like, I wish sometimes that they would just drive like there's a title at stake.
No, yeah. No, that would be something. I think it was like refreshing to see that like people within F1 are also starting to get to the point where it's like, I'm tired of talking about this. I don't like, I love talking about F1 on this podcast, but like lately it's been like, I'm tired of talking about the McLaren stuff because every time my response is kind of the same, which is, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. So good to know everybody else is on the same page. And we'll probably never know what these stupid repercussions are until like one of them retires and writes a book or some stupid shit. So whatever. We had a sprint race this weekend. What are your thoughts on sprint weekends? Do you like them?
I forgot it was a sprint weekend until Saturday morning. I was like, oh, fine. I'll put on the practices in the background while I get things ready. And it said, hey, do you want to watch qualifying? I don't get the purpose of sprint races, really. I could do without them. I don't mind that they're there, but I'm like, it's only 19 laps. The action happened in the first turn of the first corner, and now we're not going to see anything for like the next 19 laps. Why couldn't we have just done this on the Sunday? Because now I already know what's going to happen Sunday. It's like we may have a little bit of action first lap, and then nothing's really going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I think like leave the mystery.
That's actually like one of the biggest critiques people I feel like do have for the sprint races, where it's like, now I know who's going to do fastest. Like during qualifying and stuff like that, I feel like it was like very hinting towards how qualifying was going to go for the actual qualifying session, which is like kind of the fun of an F1 weekend. I will say though, I do think it succeeds at getting people to pay for tickets for that Saturday because they want to see the sprint race, because it was packed on camera. Like all the grandstands were full, and it was the same way in Miami when like there was a sprint race there. I was so surprised at how many people, because like compared to like when we went to Vegas, like in Vegas there was like literally nobody there until like the actual day of the race. Yeah, it was just us and Conor Daly who was doing the on-track commentary.
Just us.
Yeah. But I don't know. We had our sprint race, and like you said, like all the action happened in turn one. So we had Oscar tried to cut back, and in that process hit Hulkenberg, or Alonso hit Hulkenberg into Oscar. So
Oscar tried to cut back behind Lando, and it started like the chain of events started with Lando had a slow jump, and then Oscar tried to cut back behind him to avoid him. And on his other side, on the inside, was Nico Hulkenberg. But on the inside of him was Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso was coming down. Obviously, Oscar was cutting back down. And then Nico had nowhere to go, so he ended up making contact with Oscar. Alonso made contact with Nico. Oscar made contact with Lando. And then they all kind of DNF'd. Well, actually, Hulkenberg didn't DNF, but his wing actually took a trip with Yuki. So he was kind of out, but not really.
It's like hard because individually, I think all of these drivers did what was best for their race in that moment, like trying to get the jump on whoever was in front of them at the start was probably the best idea for them. And they all did individually acceptable racing moves. But when you combine them all together, it looked like none of them have ever actually drove a Formula One car before.
It was a shit show. But like at the end of the day, it was like that's a racing incident, which I think that's the best part of it, because it would give, like, Zach Brown tried to blame it on Nico Hulkenberg, and we're like, nope, can't even do that. It's just shit luck from all four of the drivers.
Yeah, so he made this like crazy statement like right after it happened. Like literally, I feel like I saw the statement like while the race was still
on
happening.
The pit wall. He was doing it on
one
the
of those
pit wall.
Fuck ass Sky Sports pit wall things. I was watching F1 TV at this point because
I was too.
Care about my sanity. But yeah, he like immediately was like, yeah, that's because Nico Hulkenberg's like an amateur or something like that. Like he said something like amateur hour and like tried to blame Nico, which is such an asshole move, might I say. And then the next day, he like apparently went up and like shook hands with Hulkenberg. I saw pictures of him in the paddock, like shaking hands with Hulkenberg and like, I guess, quote unquote, apologizing or whatever. But I'm like, no, you're a fucking asshole. Like, why'd you get on Sky Sports immediately after the crash and like not only say like, oh, it might have been Nico's fault or something, but then to be like, he's an amateur. I was like, oh, you suck majorly. We got to get rid of these pit wall interviews, by the way. Dumbest thing ever. Just you guys commentate the race. Team principals do team principal stuff. He's not even a team principal. He's a CEO. Why are you there?
He's just an owner. And for what?
This guy, dude, get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
I will say Fernando is somebody who I think consistently makes sprint races interesting because he also crashed in the sprint race in Miami doing like crazy moves to try to get like 10th or something from Liam Lawson. And I think it's because like it was like so crazy stupid what he was up to. And I think part of me thinks he loves sprint races because there's like no strategy, there's no pit stop, there's no nothing. So he gets out there and he believes like, oh, this is the great equalizer. Like I might drive for Aston Martin and you might drive for McLaren, but we both have the same 19 laps right now to do something crazy. Thing is that he never makes it to the end of the 19 laps because he does crazy shit somewhere in the middle. But I kind of think he should be allowed to have a little fun, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whatever Fernando wants to do in a sprint.
Yeah.
It's out of my hands. I'll let it happen.
But we have like 2 more sprint races this year, which is kind of insane considering how like close things are points wise for the championship. I am kind of like, I don't really feel like shitting myself with stress on a Saturday and a Sunday. You know what I mean? Like it's more fun when we kind of just kept that to a Sunday sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
But we also had a little battle between Russell and Max. Russell, I think, kind of like locked up a bit while trying to do like a crazy dive on Max. And then it drove like both of them off the road.
It was good. It was good. Listening to the commentators be like, I mean, it didn't work, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It's like 100% something that Max would have done too. So that just makes it even better. And then Max gets on the radio and he's like, Ma, what was that? And I'm like, bro, you know what that was.
You're familiar. No, I thought it was funny too, George, after the race. He was like, I didn't really think I could make it, but I thought if I was ever going to make it, it was going to be right now. So worth a try. What a gem, honestly. Ollie gets a 10-second penalty for go ahead.
For what? Literally for what?
No, I know.
Who was that on? Was that on Kimmy that day? I think that was on Kimmy. Yeah. Just like 10-second penalty? That's a lot. For what he did? That's ridiculous. And the fact that Kimmy got both Carlos Sainz and Oliver Behrman, Kimmy hates the Laps Down podcast.
No, he does. I think he just like wants to assert dominance maybe. I think Kimmy's in his asserting dominance era. He's like, I have a contract for next year. They can't fire me yet. I'm in a top team and I'm a child, ha ha ha, asserting dominance. It's like kind of a whole weird like power play thing he has. Yeah.
Odd little boy.
Odd little boy for real. The Stroll one was like, what the fuck is your
crazy.
problem? I literally out loud said, what the fuck is your problem? I couldn't even like understand what I was looking at because it was like he went for the stupidest move on Esteban and then while doing it, royally locked up and then just took out Esteban. And Este's just like, what the fuck is going on? Where did you come from? And of course, it's like honestly a reflection on class dynamics. You know what I mean? Because Esteban,
it's crazy.
Our resident poor person on the F1 grid, he has always been so understanding of Nepo Baby Stroll. And he has even reached out and acquired friendship with him. But at the end of the day, the rich get richer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's really, it makes you think, like kind of deep thoughts, you know what I mean? Makes you think.
He did wave at Esteban in a sort of whoops kind of means. So that I saw that and I was like, okay, it's not that bad. I mean, someone was gonna get taken out or a penalty today. So
but like I don't even think it was for points. I don't even think it was for points. Like you only get points from eighth upwards.
No. It wasn't even close to points. We weren't even in spitting distance of points.
No.
That was for the love of the game.
Dude, that's what sends me. My one rule that I'm making personally about sprint races is like if you are not in contention for 8th or above, why the fuck are we wrecking our cars right before qualifying? Like, just don't. Like, just like genuinely, if you're like below like 10th place in a sprint race, like just call it a day. Like, just bebop around. Get lapped. See if you can get lapped in a sprint race. That would be funny. It's like, I don't care what you do, but don't fucking wreck you or somebody else's car hours before qualifying.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Sure.
Yeah. So makes you think. And then we also got a Carlos podium. That was kind of
Carlodium.
That's kind of insane. What's his deal?
Dude, Williams built a rocket ship. I don't know. I've been saying this since the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's fair. She has been saying that. I actually am so excited for us to do our review of our yearly predictions because I think we said we were going to do a video for that. And I'm pretty sure I said in that video something about a Williams podium. And I'm pretty sure you laughed in my face.
Yeah, I mean, you watched the first half of the season too, didn't you?
You laughed in my face.
Yeah, and I will do it again.
I liked the little belt buckle that they gave them as their trophies for the sprint. Did you see that?
It was not a little belt buckle at all. It was a dinner plate.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. I was like, Texas, hell yeah. That's exactly what Texas is like. Everybody's got those belt buckles, surely, right?
Everybody. Especially in Austin.
Right. Okay. We went into qualifying. Everybody's car was fixed. Okay. So the McLaren's cars were fixed. Nico's car was fixed. I think he was out of the sprint race. Endo's car was fixed. I don't fucking know. Esteban's was apparently fixed. I don't know. And I was like, that was quite impressive. And then immediately in Q1, Isaac crashed.
Sure.
That was depressing. There's something, I feel like I love Isaac. I hate watching him race because he is so like hard on himself. Mm-hmm. And it's really upsetting to see him like get so upset when he makes a mistake. And while a crash, I can kind of understand. Like he was like hitting his steering wheel and stuff like that. He does like kind of, he hits his head in anger, mm-hmm. which I'm like, okay, let's be careful with the brain, please.
We should send men to therapy.
Right. But like, he just gets upset about that, about like a lot of stuff. Like the crash, I'm like, okay, but like he gets like that kind of mad about like missing Q3. And I'm like, it's okay. Yuki didn't make Q3. You know what I mean? Like that happens to Red Bulls sometimes.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Yeah, the emotional regulation hasn't quite kicked in for him yet, I fear.
Do you think that that comes at 25 when the frontal lobe comes in, or?
Looking at the other men in sports and just in general, I would say no.
Okay.
Maybe in
we'll
the
hold out.
50s?
Yeah, we'll hold out for an answer. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm thinking like after, how old was Sunny Hayes? Whatever after him would be. He was 55, 60.
Yeah,
Maybe that's when it kicks in.
dude, Sunny Hayes is old as dirt.
No, he was so crazy old because I was like, I thought he was 40. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense because you're showing me Fernando Alonso, and Fernando Alonso is 40 and he's on a podium. And then my mom was like, no, he's 50. I was like, whoa, yuck.
Yeah. Probably not. I don't think you would drive one of those anymore. You could do the Daytona 500 with like Elio or something. That's age appropriate for you.
You could do like almost any other racing series, I think.
Right. No, and that's important to know. Anywho, she watched the F1 movie, by the way, guys. We'll talk about it. Different video, different time. Whatevs. But I'm excited that you can chime in on pop culture references.
Yes.
Can't wait. Okay. We have our race. Max got pole for the sprint, won the sprint, got pole for the regular race. Okay. We go into turn 1, and everybody's kind of, I think, on best behavior because they see the repercussions of their actions from yesterday. And so Max maintains the lead. However, Charles is the only person on softs. He is on softs, and so is, I believe,
Bortoleto and Stroll.
Right. Because I remember looking at all of their... Dude, you're so fucking smart, dude. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you're so helpful. I remember looking at that going, okay, so I don't know a lot of things, but if I were on the same strategy as just Bortoleto and Stroll, I would probably get a little worried.
Sure.
But it did work for the start, which was to get an extra place right away. I think that Fred Visser said that they wanted to also jump Max, but
well,
know your limits. Sure. You know what I mean?
And I'd like to go to the moon one day.
No, like Max literally pieced out immediately. He does not give a fuck about you guys. But Charles was able to get a spot on Lando. Makes sense because Lando was obviously not on softs. And he also, I think, got kind of a slow start. Can I say there's something about F1 that never doesn't make me nervous, which is when we start, they kind of spread out a bit too wide. There are times at the start where we're going like 4 or 5 wide. And I just am like, some of you aren't going to make it. You know what I mean? Some of you are going to have to die from you can't all make it through this corner 5 wides. And then they somehow sort themselves out. And most of the time it's fine. Yeah. But that never doesn't make me want to shit myself, kind of.
I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you for letting me share. We get a yellow flag for Alex Albon and Gabriel Bortoleto. I never saw what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to? Probably not.
I sure would have liked to, considering there's one driver I cheer for, but whatever, guys. It's not a big deal. Thank God we didn't see any wags.
Yeah. That is strange that we really didn't see any wags. The only wag we saw was Ollie Behrman's dad, and I'll take it.
I don't even know if I saw him. I might have been Talladega-ing at that point.
Yeah, never know what really happened to Alex Albon. He did say in the post-race interview that he did with F1 TV, he was like, yeah, I think we were both kind of just being idiots. So, no biggie. I was like, fair enough. If Alex isn't stressed about it, I'm not stressed about it.
Yeah.
Although I don't really think he's stressed about much. So then we do kind of the thing where we just fuck around for a couple laps and we like go, ooh, is anything going to happen? And then nothing for a little bit. And then we got Carlos, who he decides to send it to the apex on Kimi. Probably one of the most unreliable drivers we've established on the grid. You never know what Kimi might do in response. So I probably wouldn't do that. And he said that he sends it. He sees Kimi kind of respond to him sending in the apex. So then Carlos said, quote, not direct quote, but like general quote. He said, like, I got scared of what Kimi is going to do. So then I braked. And then in braking, I kind of locked up. And then it did end up not mattering at all because then I took us both out. So, oops. And I was like, right. What's interesting, though, is Carlos is like, guys, I'm a Carlos fan. He's really bad about taking accountability for things. And this is so frustrating because it's like he continuously just kept going, yeah, it was risky and like maybe bad, but I did do the same thing to Ollie Behrman and it went fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we don't need a
No.
but there. We don't need a but. Say it was risky and it went badly. End sentence. Men, if you're ever like apologizing or like doing whatever you think is adjacent to apologies, even if you're not like into that apology sort of thing, because most men aren't, we don't need a but after it. You know what I mean?
But.
Just say the thing. Just say that we don't need excuses.
Good news is it only resulted in a feature race DNF and then a 5-place grid penalty for Mexico.
Oh, well,
small price to pay for it.
That's reasonable. No, that's reasonable. What's funny though is that he was like, I did the same thing on Ollie, and like it went fine. I think he thinks that there is like kind of a seniority thing in F1. I think that Carlos is not loving that he's like back with he's at the kids table this season, and I don't think he loves that. And he just wants to get up to the front with all of like his friends his age, and the kids don't fuck around, and the kids don't take to that nicely. They'll beat your ass.
Yeah.
Do you think he deserved the 5 grid penalty, or do you think that that's a bit much as well? Much like you said, the 10-second penalty for Ollie was too much.
Well, they couldn't give him a 10-second penalty because he got dead last. So, I don't know. They couldn't have done some of the McLaren repercussions to just be like, you have to pay. You have to Venmo Kimmy.
Venmo Kimmy. No one else is. Before we move on from Kimmy, because I don't think we talk about him much for the rest of the doc, did you see, again, funny George moment, they were on stage and George was like, where do I take Kimmy? And somebody like shouted something out. He goes, is that a bar? And they were like, yeah. And he's like, he can't go to bars. And Kimmy was like, do I get a fake? And the whole crowd goes, yes. And then George, he goes, I'm going to put him in my suitcase, which is, I don't know.
Bring him into a bar?
Yeah, I kind of pondered on that for a while because I was like, yeah. So in America, we don't really bring large bags into crowded places. Turns out that's not allowed here.
Oh,
also, like, yeah, nothing brings suspicion to you like bringing a suitcase to a bar and then having a child crawl out of it. Totally natural. George and Kimmy. What a duo. I'm so glad we have them for another year. Oh, it's so good. You have Kimmy, who's like, I commit credit card fraud sometimes. You have George, who's like, I'm going to put this child in a suitcase. I just think they're fun. Nobody's doing it really like them.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. This is, okay, for the rest of the race, we just have to do this thing where we pretend like we care deeply about the Lando and Charles battle. And what's so interesting about the Lando and Charles battle is it's a battle for second. Like, Charles is on really fucking old soft tires. Like, I had to literally Google how long can you drive on soft tires, because I was like, surely this is not too long. Yeah. So I was like, okay, he's on like horribly worse tires. Dude, what the fuck? After the F1 segment, I have to go get my soda from the freezer and put a little koozie on it. We'll talk about that later. Sorry guys, I'm really distracted today. What was I saying? I just am really fucking.
You were talking about soft tires.
The tires suck ass. Lando's on much better tires, and this is the thing about Lando, guys. I know I sound like a hater. I don't even want to. It's not even fun anymore. But like, he just does the same moves over and over again. And it's like, he's gonna defend those moves every time because that's the same turn you tried to pass him on last time.
Right.
And you're going the same way. you have to do something different. And that was like the biggest critique he got last season when he was racing with Max, is that like he would just do the same move at the same turns. And with like people like Charles and people like Max, you can't do that shit. They're good racers. I'm not even like the world's biggest Charles fan. He's a good driver. He's good at F1, as it turns out. He's one of
the top 20 drivers in the world, and I think Lando's underestimating that.
The pinnacle, bro. The pinnacle.
It was really fun to watch Charles defend, though. I feel like we don't get to watch it a lot because usually by the time it's like there's an opportunity for someone to overtake Charles, it's like Charles is like, the car is underwater. I only have one tire. It's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to defend? Like, if I defend, neither of us are making it out of here. But I thought it was a fun little battle. I don't think Lando was really putting anything out there that until he did actually make the move, like he was switchback. Like
same turn every time. Like they would he wouldn't do it one lap and then he would just wait for the next lap and then do it in the same turn.
It wasn't great, and that sucks.
I will say it was fun watching, even if it was like bad racecraft. There is something fun about watching people go wheel to wheel and it not end in a fiery crash.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Right. And I will say you are correct in Charles was fun to watch. I think it was because it kind of felt like he was playing with him a little bit. It's like when you see on a road course SVG, he kind of pretends like the person is competitive, and then he's like, but you're not. So
it's not happening.
Goodbye.
It's just one of those moments where you see an experienced driver versus someone trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
But in this case, they're both experienced drivers.
And both are in top cars.
Sure. And Lando was just thinking to himself, what would Kurt Busch do?
He's like, darn it, I wish Haley Deegan's brother was here.
I refuse to learn his name.
I don't know. The fuck-ass dirt bike boy. But then it doesn't even matter because Charles fucking boxes and he's on his own little strategy and he's in his own little world. So Lando's in second, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They did the thing again, though, and you made note of this, where they called, I think, Oscar up, and they were like, so what do you want to do? And Oscar's like, for my strategy? And they were like, yeah, what are you thinking? And he's like, ooh, I wasn't really thinking about my strategy. I was hoping you were. No? Okay, well, I guess I'll pit now, maybe, because the tires are bad. And they were like, can you make them last 10 more laps? He's, okay, yeah, no, not really, but glad you asked, I guess. I don't know. It's so dumb. Stop playing McLaren radios. Play somebody else's radios.
Stop it. You're I get really easy secondhand embarrassment, but it has been so bad this season from the McLaren team. Please, I understand that this conversation is happening and there's nothing I can do about it. What's Yuki talking about? What's going on with Oliver Behrman? Esteban Ocon's crew chief is really lovely. We can listen to her.
Oh, I love their radios. Except for when Esteban yells at her. I wish she wouldn't do that sometimes.
But I know they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart, just to become better as a unit.
No, that's very true. Play only Max's radios. I love listening to Max's radios because they kind of commentate the rest of the race sometimes too. GP will be like, Lando's bitching and moaning about his tires, and Max will go, okay. I don't know. I think that's fun. They have a fun dynamic. Love that. Play more of that. Yuki and Ollie. So talk me through it. James Hinchcliffe, talk me through what was going on with Ollie here.
No, that's a really great question. I don't even know. Oh, I do remember. Oliver Behrman, who I personally think does no wrong, kind of made a dive at Yuki on the inside. Yuki didn't leave space. However, there probably wasn't really going to be space for him anyways. And it resulted with a little bit of contact and then Oliver Behrman spinning. And unfortunately, this was we weren't fucking around in the back this time. I think this was for 7th, if I'm not mistaken. And the spin resulted in, or no, maybe it was for 6th because he still ended up in points. But the spin resulted in Hulkenberg getting by and taking the place he had. That sucks.
I did for a little bit there. They didn't really show it immediately what happened. They just showed him spinning. And I thought, yeah, this is looking like a race ban. And I was so delighted to see that he just basically spun on his own accord with no contact because I was like, we really can't be doing this race ban thing. You're rookie.
If there is a race ban, who are they bringing in?
So Haas.
No, she does Redbull now, doesn't she?
Yeah, she moved. Haas is a Ferrari engine team, so probably
Robert
Zhou
Schwartzman?
Guan Yu. That's me guessing because like he's the Ferrari reserve driver. I don't think Haas has their own reserve driver, so they would probably use the Ferrari
I
reserve.
would love to see Zhou Guan Yu in a
I know. It
car.
would actually be fine, probably. I
Ollie
just don't know.
deserves a weekend off.
I just don't know what Ollie's contract situation looks like, and I'm just like not sure what it looks like to get a race ban as a rookie. I don't think they
No.
would get rid of him, but I don't
But they're kind
know
of
if they
like
wouldn't.
the thing is they always kind of have a driver who's getting race bans, and it's not going to be they. I think what they assumed when they hired Esteban and Ollie is like, oh, like Esteban's going to be our Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, and then like Ollie will like
Ollie will be like
or
whoever the other guy is, like racing really well, getting points.
Yeah.
But it turns out actually Ollie is Kevin Magnussen and kind of Nico Hulkenberg. I still love SD though.
Yeah, Esteban's like fighting his own demons, and Ollie's fighting the FIA specifically. But I do think he is kind of like pretty close to a race ban to the point where like I think if he got penalty points like ever again, he's done. So that'll be fun. Well, you know what? I actually think Ollie should get a race ban for the last race. And then we should have a title fight down to Abu Dhabi. You have Zhou Guan Yu and a Haas. And he just does like something crazy to alter the like entire timeline of F1. Really make his mark. I'm kind of thinking like Zonuts, but like during the race. And they're like, hey, Zhou, what's up? So why are we doing that? They had to bring out a virtual safety car because you're doing donuts on the track right now. So if you could stop. And he's like, no, I have to do it.
That's kind of the plot of the F1 movie.
Right. No, can we talk? No, we have to save it for the video. Oh my God. I have so much.
We have to do that soon because we have to do that soon.
We can do it this weekend or something. We can film it. Okay. What's going on here? Whatever. We have to do the Lando and Charles battle again, I guess, because they did their pit cycles. And so we have to do that again for a second. I was like, that is the one thing about F1 pit cycles and stuff. I'm like, no, we already did this battle. And they're like, that was a different time. We have to do it again now.
This is now. It's different now.
So we have to do that again. Yeah, we just go ahead and do that back and forth, the same tricks every time, which is fine, I guess. And Lando gets the spot back, second place. Congratulations. And then a much more interesting battle is happening at the time. In the back of the pack, we have two Alpines battling as if they were also battling for second place. I was like, no, this is delightful wheel-to-wheel racing. I was like, can we take this little fuck-ass little mini screen where we're showing the Alpines battling and just go ahead and full screen that? Because that is great stuff. They were fighting like crazy over 17th.
Yeah, because Gasly was significantly slower than Franco, but just refused to let him by. Eventually, they come on the radio and they're like, Franco, we're just going to keep the positions. And Franco goes, what? I'm faster. And like a couple, like not even a full lap later, we just hear Franco going by. And it's literally for P17.
Yeah.
We are battling for P17. And in that moment, I was like, you know what, Franco? Okay.
No.
Okay, Franco.
What pisses me off is like, then they released a statement where they were like,
what?
Yeah, Alpine released a statement. Dude, I can't believe you didn't see this. It's the dumbest thing ever. So I'm blocked. I think it's because they probably were getting hate from like Argentinian fans, so they had to like make a statement.
Sure. You can't give in. You got to keep going. Just don't read the comments. Cyberbullying isn't real. Just turn off the phone.
No, that's true. They said, today, like a lot of teams, we had to adapt our strategy based on the conditions and what we saw on track, with the hard tire not being the favorable race tire. They spelled favorable and tire the stupid European ways, just so you guys know.
Yuck.
Yuck. Hate it. We gave the instruction for drivers to maintain position as we were managing fuel with both cars and the added variable of the number of laps remaining with the leaders and close proximity. I genuinely have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
There was 1 lap left, bro.
I like were you gonna like run out of fuel if we did too many overtimes or something? Like, what are you talking about? Fuel? I've never heard fuel variable even come up.
If you were worried about running out of fuel, why didn't you let Franco pass Pierre
instead of having them battle?
Say something earlier.
Yeah,
you are so sacre blue, my guys.
No, I forget that F1 cars even have fuel in them because it just has never come up, right? Like, it's like I just assume they did whatever.
Show me the fucking burn bar. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not even a thing in this sport. What are you talking about? As a team, any instruction made by the pit wall is final, and today we are disappointed that this didn't happen. Franco said, I actually can't hear you. And we are disappointed that this didn't happen. So it's something we will review and deal with internally. You know what? I'm going to say it.
Cautions.
I'm going to say it. This is exactly what they did to Esteban. Remember in Monaco, they literally made one little goof. Maybe Esteban took things too far. I don't know. I don't remember. I can't for the life of me pretend to remember what happened. But then they like made a big hoopla about like Esteban is the fucking devil and then fired him literally immediately. We're not re-signing him for next year, even though they had like such a talented driver lineup considering how shit their car was. They were like, we're getting rid of Esteban because he's just like, he won't listen to what we say. And now they're doing that to Franco.
I can't imagine a world where you think Pierre Gasly is your best driver so much that you're willing to
team orders for 17th.
That's just so, you know what? Good for them.
No, I genuinely am like, do you want to be an F1 team or something? Is this like some sort of like fraud situation or something? Like, we never really found out. Yeah. Like,
it's kind of giving McLaren though. So I wonder if that's kind of starting a fad.
A really like high level corporate management of your drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the next big thing.
They're going to like start hopping on like at the team's call. They're going to be like, hi guys, we're just going to circle back and just see if you guys have, really come together and brainstormed what you might want to do with your strategy. We added Oscar onto your radio as well, so we can kind of collaborate easier. I was just wondering if you are open, Lando, for kind of, a touch base. We just wanted to circle back. That's what they're all going to sound like.
Yeah.
It's a new fad.
You're going to ask a question to the pit wall instead of, we're checking. They're going to go, can we put a pin on it? A pin in it?
Yeah.
Can we put a pin in it?
We were kind of thinking of touching on that a little bit more in Q4, I think. Yeah, just, the end of the fiscal year is probably the best time for us to really nail down an answer for you about tire strategy. But thank you so much for reaching out. Yeah. No, go ahead. Do you want to play a part too? Who wants to play a part next?
No, this is a little different. It's a joke I'm cooking up. Do you think that the reason the F1 calendar is so short is because it only goes to Q3?
No, that's so true.
Isn't that good?
That's so true. Yeah, that is good.
I'm going to workshop that for my trick-or-treating joke.
Your trick-or-treating joke? What does that mean?
The joke you tell when you trick-or-treat.
Who does that?
Like when you knock on the door and then they ask for a joke. What are you talking about?
They've never asked me for a joke.
So what do you do when you trick-or-treat? You just like knock on the door and they just like
you say trick or treat.
No, you say dude, trick or treat. You have to say a joke to get candy.
No, you say trick or treat. That's literally it.
I've never said trick or treat. I've never said trick or treat.
I've never had to say a joke.
They go, you got a joke for me? And if you didn't have a joke, then they would like kind of like
there'd be repercussions.
There would be repercussions. Zach Brown comes out and he goes, "You just can't have this."
Dude, what fucking demented ass trick-or-treating did you have to do? Like, this was not like I did not have to work.
It was called Baker's Night too, and it was the night before Halloween. You would go trick-or-treating and you'd have to tell a joke. This is a real thing, and I know at least one person is going to know what I'm talking about.
Sure. Whatever. I'm starting to believe Iowa's not real, but whatever. We'll touch on that later.
It's not.
Yeah. So anyways, Alpine sucks majorly. We got Max Verstappen winning, Lando Norris in second, Charles Leclerc in third, Yuki P13 to P7, Ollie Behrman points, Hulkenberg points. Any thoughts on our results here?
Love them. Really good.
Okay. Do you want to voice any thoughts or concerns about the championship?
I think McLaren is really bad.
I kind of am feeling that way as well.
I love that Max is getting in here. He heard us bitching and moaning on our podcast about, just go fuck ass McLaren. Yeah. And he's like, I wasn't going to. It wasn't in the cards this year, but like, I'll go out of my way to make this entertaining, and bless his freaking heart. Also, is George Russell still technically
I was
eligible?
literally just about to say there's one more person mathematically that can do it, and that's George Russell.
So funny to me. And he's taking that with pride. He's like, well,
no, he literally is
like, it's over for y'all, but not me.
Everybody at Mercedes is like, George, please. And he's like, no, it's mathematically fucking possible. And they're like, George, please.
So good.
I love that. I think that Max is, I think he was coming from a point of like frustration because he loves racing so much that I think he was like, I've actually fucking had it with you losers. And he's like, I've decided I need to clock back in. And I think what really sold it for me was in the cool down room. It's just a minuscule little moment where Charles was like, this track is really great for racing and overtaking. And Lando, he goes, yeah, I just wish it was like nice and easy. And Max turns to Lando and has the most disgusted look on his face. I think he's like literally disgusted with the McLarens because he's like, you guys have a fucking rocket ship. When I had a rocket ship, I was doing numbies out here. Okay. I wouldn't even let my teammate pass me after I had already won the championship because it just like would piss me off, the premise of it. And like, I think he's just like, I have to save F1. I have to save this sport from the McLarens.
He's doing it.
He is. It's really beautiful to see. And if there's one other person who I think could really spice things up, it would be George.
Yeah.
Those two are cooking on something. I have one more piece of drama for you, and I'm hoping you didn't see anything about this on the internet today. Red Bull was fined after the race. Fuck, she saw it.
Of course I saw it. You know, if there's hoot nanny going on, I'm clocking.
I know. I just wanted to be the one to break the hoot nanny.
Okay, well, I can. Wait. No, tell me more.
Okay, thank you. Just play pretend, please. This is what I've been waiting for all day. I just have been really wanting to tell you about Tapegate. So Tapegate.
Tapegate?
I just coined the phrase. If you guys see it used anywhere, it's trademark.
That was me.
It's us. Same with Spirit of the Roval, whatever. If you guys see these like phrases floating around, it started here.
Spirit of the Roval did kind of catch on a little bit.
I was really happy to see it. I'm praying next year we just like have some drivers say something about the Spirit of Roval. They don't even know where it came from, and we get to be like, "That's us. That's us.
We did that." Okay.
Whatever. Tapegate. So Tapegate. Red Bull was fined 50,000 euros, which is fake money. We all know that. Something along those lines, because one of the team members on the Red Bull crew who goes out to the grid before the formation lap tried to re-enter the track after the formation lap had started. Apparently, this is something they have done previously, and somebody reported it. They had like camera footage of this person like kind of re-entering the gate back onto the track. And like a track marshal was like, yeah, I told that guy he couldn't re-enter the track, and he got really weird. The guy from Red Bull was apparently trying to remove a piece of silver duct tape that they put on the wall that lines up with Lando's grid box as an aid to help Lando not go too far up in his grid box. From what I haven't seen anything if this is like a common thing. I don't know if Lando's the only person that uses this tape thing. If everybody has some sort of guide to help them with their grid box. I think I have heard before that Lando does this.
Yeah, remember, because it was an issue after his like false starts, and then or he didn't line up in the grid box properly, like earlier this season. And
Yeah.
then I remember it being news the next week. I'd be like, "Did you know Lando Norris has to use tape to figure out where his box?" And then all the NASCAR fans come in and go, "No, this is totally normal. A lot of series do it. Stop being weird."
And Lando wants to be American, so he talked to his friend Kurt Busch, and Kurt Busch was like, "So what we do is we put tape.
You gotta get yourself some tape."
Apparently, this is something that Red Bull has actually been attempting to do for weeks. Like, there has been like an ongoing attempt for them to remove this fucking piece of tape.
Embarrassing.
Which is like funny for many reasons. Because it's like, one, like they just found out that Lando does this tape thing. And they just probably were like, dude, fuck that. That'd be so funny to fuck with him. B, like, it makes you think that maybe Red Bull has been thinking about the championship longer than they've been letting on. Like, I think that that's something you would not do unless you thought that there was a chance for you in the championship. So maybe Max has been kind of clocked in for the championship longer than we've thought. And I'm not saying he's the one, but like, it's evident that the team cares enough to fuck with Lando. And 3, Red Bull. When Christian Horner left, this whole team, I was like, thank God we got him out of here. But part of me was like, Red Bull's always been the person we could count on to do some shenanigans. And I thought, like, with Christian Horner gone, are we going to do some slimy, shitty shenanigans anymore? Are we going to have that core part of this team's identity, which is just being an absolute fucking menace to everyone else? And I was happy to see that remains and lives on.
No.
Maybe in a new way, but it's still like, I'm glad to know that they're out there trying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess my only issue is, and like, you know me, I'm a big fan of playing with the rules a little bit, you know? Like, was it really that bad that Joey Logano had web fingers? I don't know. I don't know if it was. That's not my business. What's stopping them from just adding a second piece of tape?
I don't know, MJ.
Couldn't that have been, because then technically, Red Bull, if you're listening, add a second piece of tape just a little bit further up. So then when he gets to it, he's like, fuck, which one is it? And they can't be like, you tampered with his tape, because you're just putting another piece of tape up there.
That's actually so funny, MJ.
Am I wrong, though?
No, that would be so funny if there's like just 3 pieces of tape close to each other.
Yeah.
Wait, and have you ever seen that video of Max with his drawer of tapes?
Sorry?
Oh, okay. Not everybody has a Max special interest. That's fair. Max is like obsessed. There's like this video of him just being like, I like to come in the garage and like there's this drawer with tapes and I really like it. And he like opens it and it's like a bunch of really nicely organized different colors of tape. Okay. And he's like, I really like this part of the garage. It's nice to know that they have so many different colors so that way they could perfectly match it to whatever color McLaren brings. Because it looked like this week it was just a piece of silver tape. But like it's McLaren might catch on and they might change it. So like it'll be like a new thing where like whoever works at Red Bull, it's like you have to figure out what colored tape they're using this week.
I think you wouldn't even need to do that because it's so easy to get Lando off his game. He could be like, fuck, was it the orange tape or is it the tape right next to it with little flames on it? Shit, I don't remember. Maybe it is the tape with little flames on it. I'm just saying, if we're gonna cheat, we're gonna do it well. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this fuckassery.
No, that's such a good idea. Jeez. Every day, I'm like, thank God we have a podcast together. You're so smart. Like everybody
else, a race team.
No, really literally, good. Like, oh my God, that's so good. Like, just put them like close enough that either one truly could be the tape.
Yeah, but one of them is gonna get you a 5-second penalty. That's what the kids call Russian roulette.
Dude, that's so good. And like McLaren cannot do any of this hootenanny the same way. Because remember when they tried to do the fake out? I think about this all the time. This season, they tried to do the fake out pit stop and nobody fell for it.
Oh.
That was so funny. I was just like, you guys don't have it. But I bet if Red Bull did a fake pit stop, everybody.
That's another thing they do in NASCAR.
Trickery.
Do you think, do you think that it wasn't a Lando, Kurt Busch collaboration just for this event, but they're bringing Kurt Busch onto the team to do some of this hootenanny.
Zach Brown isn't that smart.
No way Kurt Busch and Zach Brown have ever hung out. That's a good point.
No.
It was just an idea.
It was just an idea. Lando, you wish you were American. Ha, loser. Also, in other news, the F1 Apple deal is a dunzo, wrapped up, whatever. We talked about it last week in the hypothetical form. Sounds like we get to keep F1 TV, but we just have to pay Apple. I was like, sure, whatever. Just be stupid and make stuff up.
As long as we get a dual screen, the race with like other things they have on Apple TV, because I sure would like to watch the Buccaneers during qualifying.
Ma'am, I do not know anything about Apple TV. I wish I could contribute to this bit with you.
I only know the Buccaneers. Everything else on there, I think you were right. I was thinking more about what you said last week, where you think it's like some kind of tax embezzlement fraud type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking through some of their shows, and I was like, yeah.
Anyways, do you want to talk about IndyCar or
talk about IndyCar?
Oh, okay.
I haven't had anything about IndyCar.
Well, it's like something that we kind of already knew was going to happen. Rinus was announced officially for JHR. We've already, I think, beat that horse to death sufficiently about how iffy we are on that move being a good one. But turns out Rinus would like to make a living wage, which is fair, I suppose. Sure. I think a larger issue, though, is, okay, now what do we do with Conor Daly?
I don't.
Do you have any ideas, MJ?
I was going to say, I don't think that's an issue at all.
That doesn't sound like something James Hinchcliffe would say.
James would go, very good at ovals. He's very good.
That's famously how James Hinchcliffe speaks. Jesus criminy. No, I think, I don't know. I don't know what to do, Connor, because it's like you've had quite a few goes at it, and like it sounds like he has some sponsorship money, but still not enough for a full-time ride. And I'm like, that's like basically like just at this point, it's like IndyCar, you kind of need the full amount.
Maybe we're gonna need to go halvesies with Kyle Collette, and he could do the ovals, and Kyle could do the road courses. Like at this point, I think the best thing for Conor Daly to have a seat in IndyCar would be to just do only the ovals, and I think that would be fine.
I honestly feel like I would prefer to see him just show up for the Indy 500 and like be so like, because you have the benefit when you're doing just the Indy 500 that like whatever team is giving you the chassis and the engine and the car and everything, they can dedicate to just that.
Yeah.
They like, we know he can perform at the Indy 500 if given the car and the strategy to do so. And like, that's where I feel like you could make your money as like a hometown guy going after the Indy 500. That's where you could have your underdog story. And if like you wanted to race year round, maybe like go hang out with Catherine Legg, like run some more Xfinity stuff, some more truck stuff. Like, you know, they make a series that's like mostly ovals.
No, that's so true. He could definitely have a seat in like motorsport, like racing. He could definitely have a seat in some series. It's just, it doesn't seem like IndyCar is going to happen right now. He raced last week at Indianapolis. Was it
the 8-hour thing?
Yeah, I'm just not sure what.
I don't know either.
What that was, but I saw him do it. Yeah, I don't know.
Photographic evidence.
I did see.
Like, I think that like genuinely, I think that like IndyCar is just so limited on spots, and we're really not in a place in IndyCar anymore where we do the like part-time schedule for people. You know what I mean? Like with the charters, it's kind of like expected
with the
to
charters,
do.
It's different.
Yeah, it's not like how like it was a couple years ago where you could just like roll up and do just the ovals or something like that. It's expected, like we want people that are full-time drivers to make this series grow. I think like right now, maybe we get Connor like one of those Ram truck deals.
That'd be sick. I think Connor would do amazing in trucks.
Like, I
Even
think he's done a
Xfinity.
couple. I think he's done a couple little stints with NASCAR. I think that they've gone like wrong for him and like, you know, getting caught up in crashes or mechanical issues or whatever. But that's the fun of
It's just
NASCAR. Like,
part of it.
you
Yeah.
got 35 other fucking weekends to go out there and goof off in a truck. I think he should just go do that. You know what I mean? Like him and Frankie Muniz hanging out. Whatevs.
That'd be kind of fun. I support that if he's interested.
I genuinely like, I don't have anything against Conor. I just like, I can't with the like every year we're like struggling to make something. It's just like,
It's hard
it
to watch.
stresses me out. I have money anxiety and it kind of just like kills my vibe a little bit. Like, I'm sorry, Conor. Maybe we should just do the 500.
And he's good at the 500.
He's so good at the 500. And I'm not going to lie. I would love, I saw him like almost like make it to the next round and qualifying at the 5. And I literally like, it was that big energy, that like hometown, like energy, like that is what that's your moneymaker. Mm-hmm. Just like do trucks or Xfinity or some shit and then come and like own the 500.
Yeah, I think that's a great plan.
So glad we figured this out. Are we allowed to like publicly mourn Nathan Brown or is it weird? I know, guys, like
you've heard us talk about Nathan Brown. We constantly quote him. You've heard
me just falling in love with this podcast.
Dozens of times. I heard on Nathan Brown's podcast. Unfortunately, he has left us. He has gone to the fucking Colts. Like, I get he's from Indiana. Whatever. I don't care. I love that you guys love the Colts. I think it's great.
I don't care.
And he's going to not be the IndyCar beat writer for the Indy Star. I'm assuming this means the podcast is going away. That's devastating.
Our podcast?
Yeah.
No, we were just
our podcast is ending. I'm so sorry. All IndyCar podcasts actually are ending. I'm gonna text Lap it like it's hot after this and let them know.
Yeah, we gotta like out of respect. Podium Pop, wrap it up, guys. You guys
morning, Outside Line Media, it's all done. I
don't want to hear a peep from you guys.
But no, that was really sad. I really enjoy. I really enjoy Nathan Brown.
No, and like he did say that they're apparently like rehiring his position. We're getting into like inside baseball of Indy Star hiring. That's how you know this podcast is just a shit show. But like they said that they're like he said he's like they're gonna rehire for his position. But I'm like, okay, but who's on the hiring panel? Because if they're not asking me, then like, yeah, like can it be like a public vote or something? Because
I have some nominees.
No, me too. Who are your nominees?
I can't tell you. Who are your nominees?
I can't tell you. We'll have to talk about it off air.
Okay.
No, my nominees are all stupid and goofy. None of them are serious. I don't know. I mean, we have Bob Pockris still, I guess, but
yeah, but I love Bob Pockris, but
I do. It's
that man's heart yearns for NASCAR.
No, he really does. It really does.
We need what we're looking for in an Indy Star beat reporter covering IndyCar.
It's niche. It's pretty niche. You really gotta have the passion for it.
You gotta be a Libra, I think, probably.
You think he's a Libra?
Nathan Brown? Yeah.
How do you know that?
I don't know. I get the sense he's either a Libra or a Cancer.
Okay, keep talking.
There's no way in the world you're going to be able to look this up and find it.
See, that's what you have doubt. I don't. I'm still looking. You keep talking.
Okay. I like the way that he always said it like it was. And then when he had kind of a Jeff Gluck mentality where people would come into his comments and be like, you're wrong. And he'd be like, no, I'm not. Like, here's where, like, you guys clearly can't read. And I liked that. And I really liked his podcast.
I liked his podcast. I think that it was fun when he would kind of, talk shit on Twitter a little bit. I really liked that.
I mean, I guess I could be a Colts fan now.
I said, does anybody know what Nathan Brown's star sign is? No reason, but if you could respond quickly because we are recording the pod right now.
That's crazy.
What? Okay. I'm just going to see. I'm just going to see. I think it's harmless. I'm not even asking for his actual birthday.
No, we just want a star sign.
Okay, whatever. We'll come back to that hopefully when somebody responds. Well, we could talk about NASCAR. NASCAR had like a different energy this week. Okay. I will say, like,
Talladega.
this was the first week I started to actually feel like, oh, we're really going to cut 4 people and then it's just going to be the championship 4 and then we're going to do one little race and then crown a champion. That's really what we're doing right now. Fuck. It was like kind of like the stress just hit me like a ton of bricks.
I felt the same way.
I've been like kind of goofing off this whole time. Like whenever my favorites were getting eliminated, I was like, oh, rats. But now I'm like, fuck me. I mean, we're really eliminating them, huh? Like they're really not going to be the champion, huh? That's kind of serious, don't you think? Like maybe we could just throw a couple more races in there just to give people a few more tries or something. I don't know. It's kind of stressful. Talladega, do you buy into the hype, the Talladega hype? I mean, we were on real NBC this week. We did the Talladega, just like, we did the usual, like, whoa, the infield is so crazy, like hype sort of thing.
It's not my favorite of the super speedways, but I guess
it'll do.
It's fine. I like that they go 4 wide.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite of the super speedways?
Is Atlanta a super speedway?
I was gonna say I don't really care. Like, if we're talking drafting tracks, which I don't think Atlanta is technically a super speedway, but it's a drafting track though. So that's why I think it's the best, right?
Yeah, I agree. Talladega's great. Talladega's fun. Caleb lives in Talladega. The track.
I don't think
he lives in the infield
there. I don't think he lives.
No, he's in the infield. Yeah,
I think he just lives in.
He goes back and forth between Talladega and Barber.
You gave me shit being like, nobody's going to know who Nathan Brown is. Yeah, you want to bring the Caleb, our friend who looks like Austin Cindric, bit into this episode? Like, please. Justin Haley is out of the number 7 Spire car for next year. Let's just change the mood away.
Dude, I haven't given myself time to think about this because I was super, super sad when I saw that. I love Justin Haley to death. And then I saw... But Daniel Suarez might replace him. And I was like, ooh, this is really actually, that's really hard for me in 2 different ways.
Can I be honest? I kind of thought it was surprising. So I'm super excited for Daniel Suarez, super sad for Justin Haley. Really no winning there. You know what I mean? But I'm surprised that like there is even rumors of like them announcing Daniel Suarez for that seat, considering what would happen to Bubba, Tyler, I would say Riley, but I don't really feel like being nice today. What would happen to Bubba and Tyler if like the charter lawsuit situation goes south? Like, wouldn't Spire want to maybe pick one of them up? So wouldn't they be better off not announcing a driver and just seeing how that lawsuit goes, at least for a little bit?
I didn't even think of that.
Because like, I don't really know exactly what the outcome would be with the lawsuit by way of I don't really understand what's ever going on with the lawsuit. But like, Bubba is having like an amazing season, and like
kind of,
you know what? I think it's amazing, and I'm not really taking feedback at this time.
The last quarter of it was pretty good. The rest of it, 2311, has been an absolute shit show.
I don't really think I'm taking feedback at this time. I think he's had an amazing.
I fed it back, so
okay. Wow, this is a lot. And then Tyler Reddick like hasn't had the best season, but we know that like most teams would be pretty excited to pick up Tyler Reddick because like both him and Bubba, most of their faults this season have come from the team. So like, I know there was talks about like Tyler Reddick is like, I want to be on a chartered team. So if that's not what's happening, Spire's like a pretty competitive team.
Spire probably needs a little bit of moolah. Don't you think?
You think Daniel Suarez has moolah?
Daniel Suarez had Pitbull.
Yeah, and then he lost Pitbull. I thought that
he didn't lose Pitbull. Pitbull he'll come back. I know Pitbull's gonna come back.
You think that's how the arrangement is?
Yeah, he's like, when you find your home, I'll be right there with you.
Does that mean Carson will gain Pitbull?
No, it means Michael McDowell will gain.
You know what? Fine, sure. Yeah, no, that's good. We can do that. No, I knew that was going to be a really conflicting situation for you, but
it's hard.
I mean, the Spire seat is a pretty juicy seat. I think that we have seen several times where Michael McDowell and Carson and sometimes Justin Haley have shown like, ooh, there could be a race win here. Now, do their engines blow up right around that time where you think the race win might be happening? Sure. But Daniel Suarez, he's been through hard times.
Believe me. Been there.
Done that. Dude, we're so good. Nobody does podcasting quite like us. Ty Dillon's spotter was fired.
Ha. That's not funny. It's just like,
I got a response from Dana. She said, pretty sure Nathan Brown's an Aquarius.
Whoa! How did she know that?
He
does kind of give Aquarius. Is that like a January birthday?
I don't know. Should we like read what it means to be Aquarius?
No, we can't. We can't keep going on this bit. We just decided we're not going to talk about our friends anymore. We're not talking about our friends anymore.
I will do it at the end of the podcast. Anyways, okay. We're getting it out. I don't know. I thought it was interesting because I feel like there was conversations of Ty Dillon's spotter potentially being a little bit at fault for the crash that happened last week.
Yeah.
I think I've decided I'm going to stay out of spotters business because we posted one clip about spotters and everybody commented that I'm a fucking idiot. And I was like, that's super Hey, that's super fair. I admitted at the beginning of the clip that I was a fucking idiot. So that's on you. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry that happened. I just thought it was interesting.
It kind of puts a bow. That's what Nathan Brown always said on his podcast. It kind of puts a bow on the situation from last weekend.
Jesus Christ. This podcast is useless.
We're an hour and a half in.
Michael McDowell pole.
Whoa! Love to see it.
What was going on in qualifying? You also
there was some hootenanny. I actually went back and watched it because I didn't believe Bob Pockrass when he said who the top 10 were. Riley Herbst. You may know him. You probably don't. He's usually right at the back, right next to Cody Ware. Corey Ware? I don't know. And
you've been watching Cody Ware's TikTok lives too much.
No, that's Carson Ware. Dude, my coworker is getting Carson Ware's TikTok lives on her
I didn't know that's who it was. I would just always see some FYP and it'd be like, ask me anything. I'm a NASCAR driver. And I go, well, I've never seen you, so you can't be that good, huh?
No, and I do tune into a lot of it. I have to be honest. Because I don't know. Riley Herbst sat at the top. He knocked a Penske, a pseudo Penske, Josh Berry, out of pole position and just sat up there for a hot minute and then ended up getting P6. I didn't know he could do that.
I didn't know he could do that either. But then didn't he cheat? So is that maybe what it was?
Yeah, no, because Bubba was right next to him. So I'm not throwing out the cheating allegations.
Okay.
But his clutch, he had an issue with it, had to fix it. So he dropped back to the rear, which sucks because it kind of just seemed like that might have been the only chance he was ever going to get to ever do anything substantial in NASCAR. I don't know. The whole thing was very weird.
I don't know anything about cars, but what if the problem with his car is that it accidentally got just stuck at going really fast? So that's why he did a really good qualifying lap.
They put it in bunny speed, on a tractor, and he's like, "Yeah, guys, am I supposed to be in bunny speed all the time?"
They're like, "No, that was amazing, Riley." He's like, "Yeah, it was so weird. It was the car was just I was trying to brake and it wouldn't and then I just went around the oval really fast. And I just had to hold on for dear life and steer and try to keep it out of the wall." And they're like, "Realize what everyone else is doing every weekend, Riley. What are you doing? What are you doing?"
This is his first weekend ever figuring out what flat out meant. Wide open.
He was like, "That was scary as shit. I'm never doing that again."
Do this every week? I don't want to be in the top 10 no more.
Oh God, Riley, you make me cackle. The race starts and we see a pink pace car. A pink pace car.
Ooh, she was lovely.
Guys, we're putting together our Laps Down awards, and I will say, can I spoil one of our categories?
Yeah.
We're doing a sexiest pace car category. Ooh, that one hit the list so fast. You have no idea, bro.
It's good.
And I mean, we're taking other contributions for the Laps Down Awards, by the way, if you guys are interested at all. So 3 wide before the end of the first lap. Sure, why not? Denny is in the back. Oh, okay. You want to give a little hell yeah?
Whoop! Hell yeah! That's what they're talking about.
Yo! So then they go, Denny's in the back, and turns out it's on purpose. We spoke to his crew chief. What's his name? Chris Gale or some shit? I feel like I hear it all the time.
Chris Evans.
I think I'm like retaining the name of crew chiefs when they just talk about them so often. I start to like learn the name.
The other day I said Rudy Fugel and I knew who I was talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about. Who's that?
It's the guy for William Byron, Rudy Fugel.
Oh, I guess I don't really ever know what William Byron's up to on the track, to be honest.
Fugel. Alan Gustafson. I don't know.
I know that one. Yeah. I'll pretend like his name is Chris Gale. I don't know what his real name is. I think let's just pretend that's his name. They go, we were speaking to him, and they said that the plan is early on that Denny's going to hang out in the back because he's kind of old, and if he gets in a crash, it'll hurt real bad. And he already won, so just saving his limbs for another race if possible.
Which I feel like you have unironically suggested before as a super speedway method. Be like, just hide in the back. You'll be fine.
Carson in Daytona.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely believe if I was a driver, I genuinely would hang out in the back until the last 20 laps.
Then you'd be in the mix.
And then I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to get in the mix. I'm interested.
Get me in the mix. What if we held hands in the mix?
Because, okay, and I think that this what if we held hands in the mix? What's interesting is they always talk about how exciting these super speedway races are because you have all these people that lead laps that don't normally lead laps. And I'm like, yeah, because you just told me that by leading, you're ruining your fuel mileage and you're doing everyone behind you a fucking favor. That's why Cody Ware is in front right now. But they act like that equals excitement because they go whoa, what a race we've had today. I love you, Lee Diffie, but you do this all the time. What a race we've had today, ladies and gentlemen, at Talladega. Look at all the leaders we've had across this race. Yeah, I don't really think that means much. You just told me that that's because leading is kind of a fraudulent scheme until we get to the last stage. So, I don't know. You're faking the hype a little bit.
I mean, it's cool. It's a cool stat if you don't analyze it at all. If you're just we had 77 lead changes. It's whoa, that's cool on its head. But so why are we having so many lead changes? And yet one of the winningest drivers ended up winning. Why did that happen?
Right.
It's I get that it's cool. It's cool. It's a number. That's great. But the purpose of stats are to provide information, background and to build off of. So it's meh.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Kind of lame. There's this one thing though that does happen on drafting tracks that freaks me out every time. So it can happen in two ways. Either they go and they pit, and then the drivers, they want to rejoin the pack, but there's no real good way to do it because they're kind of off cycle with everyone else. So they decide, and Austin Cindric did this, and somebody else with him, but I can't remember who it is. They see the pack coming up behind them, and they just sit in the middle and make everybody part around them. And then the commentators were like, yeah, what they're doing is they're slowing down the pack so then they can just group onto the end a little bit easier and then get the benefit of the draft with everyone else instead of fucking around by yourself. But they were in the process, you might wreck the entire field. And I was like, right, no, I could see how that's fucking happening right here. Or you can do, and love it when Daniel Suarez does this. He always opts for the middle when he's decided to peace out from drafting, is when a driver just goes, I think I've had quite enough up here. I think I'll go directly in the middle and possibly almost wreck everybody. I think that's so fun. Would you do that if you were a driver at a drafting track?
Yeah, unintentionally, but yeah.
Yeah, you think?
I'd slow down in the middle because I get a little scared.
I get a little freaky. Okay, we have a big one. Jones and Gregson hit each other, starts everyone else's day getting ruined. Thus begins everyone else's day sucking. Chase Elliott is caught up in this. That's important. Chase Elliott's a playoff driver, and I would say probably your favorite playoff driver at this point. What are we kind of feeling?
Bad, sad.
Anything else or
upset? Blue.
I'm your therapist. Do we want to color a picture And maybe whatever the picture you draw is kind of representative of our feelings.
You just be
Ooh.
blue.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm noticing a lot of blue colors here. What
Yeah.
do we think that means? Sad.
Sad and bad.
Sad and bad. I mean, I feel bad for Chase because he's like, I don't know, I guess I have to win Martinsville now. I wasn't really planning on winning Martinsville. I don't really know what the plan is. I guess I just have to win Martinsville or I don't, and then I don't go to playoffs anymore. I don't know. I hate when I see them like they're coming to the same realization I am. They're doing the maths and they're like, the maths ain't looking good.
Yeah, it sucks to watch Chase do math. Because usually he's just like, I don't know what's happening. But then he starts doing the math. It's like, oh man, it's hitting him.
Darn, I have to win Martinsville, don't I? And they're like, yeah, you do, honey. Yeah. He needs one of those one-off little fuck-ass liveries. That's when he wins.
No, you're right. He needs the one-ass little fuck-off livery.
Haley's out. Sure, that's exactly what he needs. Sure, Stenhouse is out. Cindric has a head-on collision with somebody else. Looks like it hurt real bad. And then, yeah, sure, why not? And then Allmendinger. Did I gain empathy for AJ Allmendinger this week? Because I was like, he kind of looks like he's really hurt out there. I was like, I'm sorry for all those mean things I said about you when you tried to pass my friend SVG at the Roval that one time. I'm sorry. Maybe he's allowed to stay. I don't know. He kind of was like making jokes. He's like, I'm old and my body hurts. And I'm like, no, I heard that earlier. They said that the same thing happens to Denny.
This is what they're afraid of happening to Denny.
No, literally. Real talk, though, it was kind of really scary. They like showed him like really struggling to get out of the car, really struggling to stand, like the AMR safety team really having to help him back. And then he seemed fine when he came out of the care center, but definitely seemed like it was a crash that rattled him a little bit. And
yeah, he said he got the wind knocked out of him. And like you could almost hear it in his radios where he kind of stopped talking. Got the wind knocked out of him, and then his car started on fire. So he was like, I'm just going to leave the situation. He crawled out and was laying on the ground in pit lane. It was scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt bad for AJ Allmendinger, and I definitely felt bad for Chase Elliott being the only playoff driver who got mixed up in this, really through no fault of his own. Okay, tight finish at the end of stage one. Sure, why not? Ty Gibbs and Riley Herbst, who wins stage one? Sure. Why not? That's fun. Did you have fun?
It wasn't Ty Gibbs and Riley Herbst. It was Ty Gibbs and
it was two monster cars.
There were 3 monster cars out there this weekend.
Reddick was in a monster car?
He was in a monster car.
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
That was him. Yeah, Riley Herbst wasn't anywhere near that.
No, that was so much more fun when I thought it was Riley Herbst. No.
I'm sorry.
No, that was like, I literally didn't even look. I just looked up and I saw it was 2 monster cars and I was just like, yeah, no, sure. Yeah, Ty Gibbs versus Riley Herbst. Sure, that's fun.
Sure. No, sorry.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Not as fun, though.
I know.
Okay, well, I thought Riley was fast this weekend. I was like,
he was. But it wasn't good.
Okay. Anthony Alfredo was there and he was leading some laps and then he saw Michael McDowell on the bottom lane and he was like, let me go block that real quick. And then in the process almost took out the entire field. And then the commentators just kind of like shit on him for a while. That was an interesting segment.
Yeah, they were like, he probably doesn't have a lot of experience riding out in the front in one of these cars. And then they're like, but he's a good little race car driver. And I was like, hey.
That's a grown man.
That's not nice to say.
No, and then they were like, he's actually the sim driver for Hendrick. And it's good that they let him get out in a real car sometimes. Because sometimes when you're in the sim, you don't know how a real car works. So it's good for you to get that experience. It's like, right. This feels mean. This feels really mean. And the thing about Anthony Alfredo is that I never know he's there. Kind of like Jackenzie Joy, Yealy. And when he is there, he's going to have fun. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to lead some laps at Talladega. That seems fun.
I love it. Yeah, I love it when Anthony's out there. I love that guy, and I love his TikToks. You guys should follow him on TikTok. It's good.
It's a good follow on TikTok, guys. Anthony Alfredo. SVG tend to go in stage 2. He's heading into pit lane and he slips on a weeper. Whenever people say that, I think of like those little guys in Minecraft.
A creeper?
Yeah.
That's
like
crazy.
A bomb? They have a bomb.
He's like right next to him and you just hear
like, no, SVG, there's a bomb on track.
SVG, run! Get me started!
Go to sleep. They can't hurt you when you're asleep.
Get in bed right now, SVG.
That was a fun Minecraft segment. No, they're just the little fuck-ass little puddles of water that take out your favorite drivers. And then they got mean. Why were the commentators so mean this week? Why did they have like a mean streak? Because then they were like, yeah, SVG, that's how tires work on ovals, idiot.
They don't work. Everyone else was able to get in the pit lane, all good. But SVG couldn't, he's still learning how to do ovals.
Dude, that was like so unnecessary. I was actually getting rage baited by the commentators. I was like, yeah, they didn't believe him. By the way, he literally came on the radio and was like, I hit water. And then they were like, fucking idiot. The water's over here. It's nowhere close to you. And then they were like, okay, so he did actually hit a little bit of water.
Yeah. They were like, shouldn't he be used to the water? I'm like, okay, well, now we've changed our tune completely.
Yeah, they were like, I thought Mr. I Love Road Courses won Mexico City when it was raining. Fucking can't even take a little puddle, idiot. It was so mean. And might I add, before then, SVG was like doing amazingly, brilliantly.
He was P6.
He was like literally like
hitting from P6.
Top 5, the full like first stage and a half.
Very good.
I really was like, he figured out ovals. Me every week. So annoying at this point. Andrea's gonna come on here. She's gonna talk about shit at McLaren, and then she's gonna talk about how SVG's learning ovals. It's the same bit every week, and you guys you keep tuning in. I don't know. What happened to Ty Dillon
in the pit? In the pit lane, he was exiting his box, and he hits the tire of the 21 in front of him that was like off the car, obviously. And there was a pit crew member like in the little tire burrow, like fixing something. And he hit the tire into the pit crew member who was in the little tire burrow inside of the car. And then obviously that's a penalty. And he got on the radio and he's like, but why was the tire in my way in the first place? And usually I would be on his side, but I was also like, unfortunately there was a human being next to it, in which case I'm like, we probably shouldn't have done that. So just another reason to keep an eye out. I mean, someone better be keeping an eye out for Ty Dillon. I hear he has a spotter position open if you're interested.
I feel bad for Ty Dillon. Things have really gone south for him since the in-season tournament loss.
I know. It's hard to hit your peak so early in the season.
Yeah, no, that's whenever it's like you're hitting your peak in the TNT part of the NASCAR season, it's like a tough time to hit your season. You definitely want to hit it like right at like NBC time. That's when you want to hit your peak. But I mean, at least it wasn't the Fox part of the season. Am I right, guys? 2 to go. Chris Buescher is leading, and then he crashed.
Oh,
I think that it was William Byron that kind of pushed him out of line a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
And the reason why I say that is because Chris Buescher's leading. I think William Byron is behind him. And then behind him is Carson. And did you watch the little part from Carson's onboard from that little run right before they went into the overtime?
No.
It was so funny. Like their little line was like doing great. And like they were like kind of leading like pretty significantly. The other line, you can't even really see them out of the peripheral vision of the onboard. Mm-hmm. And then like they're like, okay, yellow's out. And Carson goes, woo! That was fun.
Such a dork.
I know. He's like, that was really good, guys. That was really fun. I really liked that.
Oh God.
But it's like funny because then the next time we do the overtime, Carson may or may not have pushed William Byron out of line, and William Byron spun just as they were going across the finish line. And Carson was like, That one was on me. I was having a little too much fun. My bad.
Sorry,
But
guys.
everybody was mad at Carson, but I think William Byron did the same thing,
Mhm.
like the lap before to Chris Buescher. So,
Okay,
I mean,
I'm down for that.
yeah.
Because I was starting to feel kind of bad for William Byron, and that's not a place I find myself.
No, you find yourself in that place pretty often. You're kind of a little Hendrick fangirl.
Can't believe you'd say that to me.
I think you kind of are. I'm not going to lie.
Not all of them.
No, I mean, like, you sufficiently hate Kyle Larson, which is
Yeah.
good for this podcast. But, like,
Thanks.
I think other than that, you're like,
yeah, I guess I do. I find it's a charming trio. What can I say?
Mm-hmm. I knew you would. Yeah, I knew I'd call you out someday about
You got
your
the H on my hat is for Hendrick.
Really? I thought it was like a Sheldon Creed sort of call out.
Sheldon Creed got 5th.
No, I know.
He finished in the. Oh no! Cole Custer.
The funny thing is I didn't even correct you because I don't even really know the difference.
Yeah, it was Cole Custer was up there. We had. Oh, did we finish the race?
Kyle Larson runs out of fuel. Carson pushes Byron out. Whatever. Briscoe wins. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I'm happy that Briscoe won because I want Denny to do very well in Phoenix. And so I think that there is going to be, and maybe it's because I'm like an F1 fan first. I have to think, can we get some team orders up in this bitch? I mean, like, come on. Like,
I don't think there will be. At
what point do you go like the years of service Denny has put into this organization? Everyone must lay themselves on the line for him. Everyone. That means you, Christopher Bell and Ty Gibbs. You guys have to do some crimes next week to make sure that no Penske's make it past that cut line, buddies.
I mean, I'm down. I'm absolutely down for that kind of hootenanny.
Yeah. Please. Like, I genuinely, if I have to watch Chase Briscoe win the championship his first year with Joe Gibbs Racing while Denny has to fucking suffer from his millionth fucking mechanical issue, probably, I think I'm going to have to commit crimes. I think I'm going to have to do something drastic and insane.
She's going to lose her marbles.
No, literally.
I'm not worried about it. I think everything will end up the way it's supposed to end up.
Don't fucking lie to me. Say what you really think. This is your podcast too.
No,
why am I always the one putting myself out here? Saying I'm going to commit crimes.
I was going to say, I didn't ask you to say that.
No, you made me. You made me feel like it was a safe place.
It is a safe place. I really don't want any of the Penske's to make it into the Final Four, but I also don't really know if I want 3 Joe Gibbs cars and a Hendrick to make it into the Final Four. Like, if Ryan Blaney won Martinsville, are we going to be mad? Are you going to look me in the eyeballs and tell me we're going to be upset about that?
He's allowed to win Martinsville if he pinky promises he won't win Phoenix.
Okay, and I think that's fair. I think that's doable.
Because I do like Ryan. And I want him to make out with that clock. You have to promise, Ryan. Please, don't win Phoenix. I know you're going to want to real bad, but you can't. It's for the greater good. It has to be Denny, guys. Can I admit something?
Yeah, of course.
I'm starting to get really scared.
Don't. Knock on wood. Don't talk about it. Don't even. The thing that you're going to say, don't say.
No, just in general. No, just in general.
You're just scared in general?
Yeah, because like last year, I didn't really care about NASCAR. So when Joey Logano won, I thought it was funny because everyone was mad because like I'm kind of just that kind of person that like is kind of, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like a rage baiter and like a hater. And I just thought it was funny that everybody was so mad. But now I'm really scared because I'm like, what if Joey Logano does that to my favorite driver? I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, I don't want to get Joey Logano. Although my favorite driver's not out there, so.
SVG?
Yeah, SVG or Ryan Preece. Or Riley Herbst. New fave. New fave just dropped.
No, you're just lying to my face as if you're not a Chase Elliott fan. Like, I'm so tired of the charade. I'm tired of it.
I'm not talking about Chase Elliott furthering himself in this playoffs. I will not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. She's such a fan that she's not even talking about it as to fear retribution and repercussions.
Repercussions.
I don't know. I think like this is the first, like this weekend was the first weekend. Like I said at the beginning of the segment, I genuinely am like, I really need it to be a good champion. If I tune into Phoenix and I see some hootenanny, I'm going to be super upset. I'm going to be super upset, guys, because I'm so invested. And I'm starting to feel the same way about F1 now. Now I'm like starting to get like hives just thinking about it because I'm like, oh my God, like, what do I do if two of my favorites are in a championship battle and then the third person wins? I can't do this. Honestly, I think we should stop with motorsports probably.
Oh, okay. What are we jumping into next?
I just kind of like it in IndyCar how Alex Palou always wins, so we don't have to deal with all this.
I think I prefer dominance. It is fun to have like a battle that goes to the end of the season. This is the first time in watching motorsports I've ever experienced a battle that has gone to the finish.
Yeah. Well, we watched NASCAR last year.
Yeah, but did we watch it or were we just, our eyeballs were on the TV?
I think we were just making fun of it kind of the whole time.
I didn't consume any of that. And I know we filmed podcast episodes and we talked about it ad nauseum. That's what we said, but that's not real. That's not real. Yeah, I miss Alex Palou. I hope he wins at Phoenix. At Phoenix, are they going to bring the alternate tires? Do you know?
No, I don't know anything. I just know fear.
Yeah, we'll figure that out in 2 weeks, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, I wonder if NASCAR even knows. I mean, they're kind of like a play-it-by-ear type of organization.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're going to get any hootenanny at Martinsville next week? I think Martinsville, like, there's no way it's going to just be a normal straight and narrow race.
No,
like, there's going to be something.
That's the reason it's here.
Yeah, I keep thinking, like, every year that something happens, we then make a rule making it so you can't do that thing again. So then I'm like, who's going to think of a new thing?
Ex post facto.
You know what I'm thinking we could do? I have an idea. If you're looking for a new way to like kind of goof around in Martinsville in a way that there's not been previously rules made so you couldn't goof around in that way anymore.
Okay.
I'm kind of calling back to what we were doing earlier with Lando. What if we paint a fake restart zone? Just to kind of throw everyone off a little bit.
I like that. We could do that.
That would like kind of mess with people. I'm trying to think of like other things.
What's another way we could cheat at Martinsville?
Yeah, guys, do you guys have any ideas of way we could cheat?
Let me know in the comments below how you would cheat at Martinsville.
I think that like, what if you do the thing that we talked about with Riley Herbst, where like you accidentally break the car so that they just have to go fast the whole time?
Yeah.
And then they ride the wall, but it's like allowed because it was a mechanical failure. Because Christopher Bell tried that last year, but then they were like, it wasn't a mechanical failure. But if you could prove that there was.
He said that he had gotten up into the marbles. So I think there's some potential there for us to utilize the marbles. Maybe riding the wall. That's really all I can think of.
Yeah, no, it really always just comes back to that. Once you unlocked that it works, I just can't help but to think about it.
You gotta ride the wall. Where else can we ride the wall? Literally anywhere, probably.
Ross did something so crazy there where like he kind of just like unlocked something that like even though it's kind of like the forbidden fruit, you can't help but to think about it. You like on the last lap, you're like, I could ride the wall. I can't though. But I could.
I sure want to. It's so sad that there are going to be drivers who spend their whole entire lives. Like there are drivers who don't win a championship, yada, yada. But there are going to be drivers who don't ride the wall. And that's really sad.
Oh, yeah. Ross really just did his big one. Honestly, we need to get Ross on the phone because he's the one who always comes up with the innovative ideas. I bet he's literally at home right now. Like, God, I have so many ideas on how to cheat for No, he's like, I have so many ideas on how to cheat for Martinsville, but like, I'm going to just save them for when I'm in the playoffs. I bet he's got like a bank of them, like a bank of ways to cheat at Martinsville.
He's got a binder with loose leaf paper filled with how he would, and he puts it in his freezer.
No, yeah, just because it's like
safety. Keep that on ice. You know, he takes it literally.
Literally. Yeah, I mean, like, I can't wait to see what he's cooking up. Hopefully next year we get Ross at Martinsville again. It'd be worth it. Okay, so Chase Briscoe's in, Denny Hamlin's in, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson are both tentatively in on points, but fun fuck that. Who knows what that means?
Mm.
William Byron, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott below the cut line. Would you like to make any switches? Would you like to see any changes in the playoffs next week? Who would you like to see above and below that cutoff line if you could choose?
If I could choose, not based on logic.
Well, it's playoffs. At this point, I think that like it's fair to say that anything could change next week for the people not already locked in. Like, I don't think that there's anybody confirmed good to go on points.
No, you're right. I'd like to see...
And there's nobody like out fully. I know what you want to say, but now you just like want to like play cool about it. You want to see William Byron and Chase Elliott go above the line because you're a little Hendrick fangirl secretly, and you want to see it play out that way. Just say it.
I think it'd be cool to see William Byron up there. I was gonna...
And Chase Elliott.
If that happens, that's great.
I would also, funny enough, like to see the same thing. I just am giving you shit because I think I would like the same thing. I don't want any Penske's. I don't want Kyle Larson there because he just generally bothers me. And then I don't want Christopher Bell there because I think that Chase Briscoe is I look at him and I think, man, that's a guy who could be easily manipulated to let Denny win. I don't see that in Christopher Bell.
I think that's
fair. I think at this point, it's like kind of an Alpine situation. You know what I mean? It's like, who's in it for team orders for P17? And if I can't count on you to be in it for team orders at P17, we can't afford to have you in Phoenix. You know what I mean? It's really an all hands on deck sort of situation. I look at William Byron and Chase Elliott and I go, oh, Chase Elliott. If he could manage to win in Phoenix, you know what I mean? I'd almost have to hand it to him. Like I would just have to be like, well, that's funny. And then like William Byron, he did pretty well last year in Phoenix, but not well enough for me to feel
threatened.
Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, we cannot allow it to be Joey Logano. And I think everybody's on the same page with that.
Everybody but Aaron. Aaron, sorry about this.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron. But I also would like to start a rumor. Can we start a rumor together?
Yeah, absolutely. What you got?
Do you remember when everybody was saying that SVG called Max and got like tips from Mexico City? I like to think that it went the other way. And this weekend, Max is going to call SVG and be like, do you have any tips from Mexico City?
Yeah, I think so. And I think Lando will be calling Kurt Busch. And Kurt will be like, do you think I race in NASCAR right now? And he'll go, yeah, you're the one who spins. You're number 8, I'm number 4. It's like 2. It's like
I chose number 4 because I'm half as good as you. And he goes, that's not me, actually.
That's not me.
You know what? I'm in like a peace treaty era right now. Like I could make peace with a lot of people that I have beef with. And this weekend I decided I was willing to make peace with Charles. He didn't really do anything to me. I just generally kind of am like, go be sad somewhere else, please. But this week I was like, I thought it was kind of funny how you did that to Lando. I like that. I could be willing to make peace with Lando if he went to Cheddar's with me because Kyle Busch got top 8 and I think that they got free chips and queso. If we could make it happen again and Lando went with me, I think a lot of good could come from us sharing some chips and queso. You know what I mean? Like I definitely think that there's like an olive branch there.
That's going to be a really good lap traffic episode for our frenemies segment.
You know what? I think if we made a whole series of me having to give an olive branch to everyone I have talked shit about online, it would be a good series. It's just the problem is,
agree.
I don't think the other people that I've publicly talked shit about would be interested in coming on the show.
That's why I'm reaching out as a middleman.
Lando's our first guest.
Lando, please.
Lando, I'm willing to make peace, okay? I'm sorry. I really don't even have that many problems with you, and I definitely think some chips and cheese would fix it. And you love Kurt Busch, and I think that's funny.
Okay, fine. You can bring Haley Deegan's little brother if you really want to.
Just he's not allowed to talk, okay?
But we're not all wearing Monster merch. It's weird.
I think that would be a funny Frenemies episode, is you and Haley Deegan's fuck ass little dirt bike brother. Because I think you would genuinely
why do you
like
keep
just
doing
like
that.
what?
No, that's what I would say to him. Have you watched the clips of any of his like recent races where he just like totally takes himself out to I'd be like, and do you feel like you need to do this? Is there someone that's making you feel like you need to do this so that they'll accept you? Or is this something that we could resolve inside of ourselves? Haley Deegan's brother.
Yeah. I think you kind of have like a different vibe. Like mine would be a frenemies vibe. Yours would kind of just be more like a gentle parenting podcast.
Guys, let me know who you want me to gentle parent.
Yeah, it's a different vibe, but like still entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah.
I think
couple of spin-offs.
Yeah. I think that there's some people beyond gentle parenting, but I definitely think that Cody Ware's little brother, you would totally gentle parent him.
I think I would. I think I probably would.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of movement to be made here. There's a lot of lives that could be changed. You know how like Andrew Tate, he was like, I'm gonna like save young men.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna save young men with my podcast. And it's young men have to come on and be gentle parented by MJ. Maybe along the way they might learn empathy and respect for women and to not maybe say like racist things or go to jail, which is good. I think.
I think so.
Do you want to do a fan favorite before I forget?
Fan favorite, Todd Gilliland.
Oh my God, Todd Gilliland was my fan favorite. Fuck.
No, literally right before we started, I'm going to mention another friend. Right before we started watching, Sean, he asked who like my wild card picks were. And I said Riley Hurst, obviously. And he said, I'd like to see Todd Gilliland win. And I was like, Todd?
You're so sweet in your delivery for Todd.
And then he almost did. That would have been crazy if Todd won.
Dude.
Doesn't drink enough raw milk.
I do love Todd, I think.
I do too.
I've kind of gone on and off throughout the year of mentioning him as one of my faves because like it kind of like, it gets to a point when people ask me who my favorite NASCAR drivers is. It's like, Andrea, you're naming like half the field. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't have time for this. But like, I feel like Todd doesn't make the cut nearly enough.
No, I agree.
Todd, I also found out you're 25 years old. I did not know that.
I don't want to learn any more ages of these.
I don't think I want to learn any more ages.
I'm not having fun doing this, and I don't want to do it anymore. Oh, little side note. I posted that video where I was talking about how I wanted like F1 TV and like IndyCar on a streaming service, yada, yada, yada. And someone in the comments, I think they were being mean to me, but someone I've recommended that I just use an antenna. And a person responded and goes, she's 24. She's not going to use an antenna. And I was like,
you think I'm 24?
Okay, first of all, compliments to my injector. I'm not 24, and I also don't have a TV, so I can't use an antenna. I don't know.
I just hop in the comments. How old do you think I am?
Me next.
Do me next, please. Oh gosh. No, they were definitely being mean to you. That's really funny. Guys, I've been talking with MJ. I think I want to get a desk soon because I don't know if you guys know this. I filmed the podcast on a TV tray, and I just have noticed recently if you guys do a lot of this, it's actually not an earthquake. It's just me leaning on my TV tray, which I guess you're really not supposed to do. So just know, guys, like it's getting it's like up and up from here. Honestly, with Laps Down, we just hit 300 subbies on YouTube. I mean, like soon we'll probably start making real money, right? And we can quit our jobs. Probably.
Hopefully.
I would think so. Do you have anything else to add to the podcast?
Don't forget Supercars this weekend.
Yeah. Supercars. We got Mexico for F1, which is great. Honestly, dead ass being so serious right now. Literally one of my favorite F1 races.
I agree.
So good. I was going to go to I had made a pact that I was going to go to the IndyCar race in Mexico City if they did it, because I just love that track so much. But if IndyCar can never get their shit together, I think next year, like, I might just have to go to the Mexico City race. Like, it's the perfect time of year because it's like no other, like, there's no IndyCar races that I should be saving money to go to. So I can just like spend my money on that. It's probably way cheaper than some of the US races. And even if it's not, at least it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
Yeah. Dude, gotta go to Mexico City. Also, next week, probably going to be our Halloween episode if we can think of a costume.
If you guys
leave comments, we really will take them to heart. We genuinely need help because I'm not going to lie, we had a whole bit planned and then it kind of fell through.
I've had a few bits planned and it's just not working.
So if you guys have any ideas, and then anything else we want to, any more calls to action? I learned that is like an influencer word. Somebody said
calls to action. It's like a social media marketing.
Dude, am I marketing right now? Calls to action, guys.
Next, I'll learn how to. You're not asking them to call to action. You like give them something to do.
Next, I'll learn. Next, I'll start doing B2B stuff, guys. Don't worry.
God, we can't go back there. I don't think so. I think if I think of anything, I'll just get on live later this week. So just keep your eyeballs peeled.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, guys.
I sure hope this podcasting thing that we used for the last 2.5 hours worked.
I'm getting a little nervous now that we're getting to the end.
You think I should just click end recording and see what our fate is?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.